All right, I'm going to interrupt real quick just to introduce our speaker. Keep on eating. My name is Sean Soloway. I'm the president of Exit Marketing, and we're all very fortunate to have a really good presentation today. Marla Johnson Norris, a quick little introduction, and then we'll get to the good stuff. She is CEO of Aristotle Interactive, a cutting-edge integrated marketing agency located here in Little Rock, which has grown to a thriving, national recognized internet and interactive agency, garnering international media attention for innovation and excellence and national Best of Industry awards for many of its clients. Marla works diligently to keep on top of important trends for Aristotle clients, designs strategic marketing plans, and conducts research on behalf of many of them. She is a nationally recognized expert and speaker on internet and interactive marketing. She speaks to industry groups nationwide covering several areas of her expertise, including successful online marketing campaigns, mobile innovation, strategic branding and design, social networking trends, research methodology and reporting, email marketing, destination marketing, and integrated PR and advertising. So we have a lot of expertise here to help educate us, and it's going to be exciting. So please join me in welcoming Ms. Marla Johnson Norris.
Sean works with me and a few others at the Women's Foundation of Arkansas on our communications committee. Really appreciate you, Sean, and appreciate that volunteer work. It's awesome. We have a lot to do with these women's organizations. I get to do the sales and marketing aspects of work at Aristotle, so I definitely commiserate with all of you. You're out there trying to get new clients, trying to meet new organizations and people in those organizations, obviously. And also, you are marketing your brand, your company all the time, and that's part of why you're all a member of this organization. And it's definitely what I'm going to be talking about today. This is really kind of what do you need to be thinking about in 2012. I got to talk to Kyle a little bit about Twitter and how to tweet, and I tweeted about you guys and sent out a photograph about being here. And I won't be able to go into a lot of details about strategically how to put together, a Twitter marketing strategy, or specifically how to put together, for example, how to use Pinterest to promote your business. But I seriously recommend that you look into these. For example, Pinterest is the fastest growing social media network today. If you haven't heard of it, you need to check it out. It's being, if you're a woman and you're on Pinterest, raise your hand. If you're a man and you're on Pinterest, raise your hand. Exactly. It's very much dominated by women right now. There actually are some interesting networks that are doing some similar things, more geared toward men. But Pinterest is something where women are out on the internet, and men. They're tagging things they like, home decor, furniture, clothing, whatever, and then they share it with their friends. So it becomes a great viral marketing tool to promote your business. That's really one of the things that we're going to be talking about today. But first, we're going to just take a little bit of a step back and take a big picture, because jumping in and deciding that you're going to tweet or something is fine, but you can find that you can waste time if you don't really think strategically about what it is you're trying to accomplish and to set some goals for yourself, and don't really just think about what it is you want to accomplish. So it's just like baking. You have to have a recipe if you want it to turn out well, especially in baking. And you want to put a face to your customer. Think seriously about who your customer is, and there's a great technique of actually putting a picture up in your office, at your desk, of somebody who you think is kind of your ideal customer. And then when you're doing your marketing, when you're doing your sales presentations, when you're putting your information together, think, who is that person on the other side of this presentation? And will this resonate with Sharon? Give that person a name. It can be very helpful in terms of keeping you focused on the customer and not making some mistakes you may otherwise make. Now, one of the things we know is that we want everybody to be our customer, right? You're going to have like 50 pictures up there. I want all of these people to be my customer. But what we've learned is that if you can focus on your main customer, if you can really target your main customer, then the others really do tend to follow. So, just like in bowling, you hit for that middle pin. Otherwise, a lot of times your marketing and your sales online can be very cluttered, and you have to kind of nail it down. You really have to kind of keep it focused sometimes in order for your message to resonate because, as you know, there's so many messages out there. Now, when you're on the internet, just when you're thinking strategically, whether you're a bank, whether you're selling some products, with logo items or whatever it may be, it's all about trust and safety. If people come to your website, they're going to say, is this a professional company? Do they look trustworthy? Are they giving me real information that's going to help me make a business decision here? So I put this up just as an example. We see this a lot in the tourism field. I'm not going to rent this cottage if I can't see what the inside looks like, what the outside looks like, what the floor plan looks like. Obviously, that's not your business. You don't own a cottage in Kentucky that you're trying to rent out. So you want to think about what that is for your organization. Again, whether you're a law firm, whatever you may be, what is it that people need to see to give you credibility and to make your message resonate online? And then, of course, make sure you think about measuring. One of the beauties of the internet is you get to measure it. So these are the good old days, the good new days, where you get to actually find out whether or not people have seen, what you have to say. And what you can do is you can test good messaging. You can test offers. The internet's all about deals and specials, so you want to definitely see if there's something you may not be able to offer a special deal. All right, there's a deal out there for attorneys as well. Conversion tools. A conversion tool can be as simple as sign up, or get a quote, or, contact us, fill out this contact form. And then the new word is really engagement. And this is really getting into the social media, something Sean and many others know a lot about. So, it's really talking about how we're going to have conversations with people online. Now, what I do, and I do this a lot for all of our clients, way too much, I'm in way too many meetings. So somebody asked if we could get together in 2 weeks, and I thought, maybe 4. But I'm in a lot of meetings where I'm going through analytics with our clients. We're looking at whether or not the terms they're promoting are number 1 in search or 5 in search. We're looking at all kinds of information about whether or not their mobile pages are growing, and they are, by the way, across the board. The mobile views of all of our clients' web pages are going up. How pay-per-click, maybe we'll do a special Facebook promotion. We'll be looking at data on that. We'll be looking at reviews that people are writing, especially if you are, like in hospitality, we'd be looking at TripAdvisor, we might be looking at, other review sites. And I don't know, if you have a review site in your world, definitely something you need to pay attention to. I'll talk about that. But anyway, think about whatever you're doing. If you're going to tweet and you're going to promote your staffing business using Twitter, who do you want to reach? How are you going to do that? What kind of messaging are you going to set up? Some of our staff can tell you, because we do this social media consulting with companies, that you're going to have to tweet more than you would post on Facebook, for example. We can explain why. But then measure, how many people followed you? How many people became fans? How many people started connecting to you? How many people retweeted your message or said something about it? These are the things we measure. So, on to some tactics that are basically driving 2012 in the future. And I don't really see these going away because they've been around for a couple of years and they just intensify. Social media, you've already heard me talk a lot about it. It's very important. I don't really now just talk about the websites of our clients. I did in 1995. It's websites and email marketing plans. But now it's so much more, and social is a big part of it. And mobile, I already told you this is growing so rapidly. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. And then search. I think in keywords. You know, it's getting crazy. I was talking to somebody about one of our clients is Long Island, New York, and we do their tourism promotion. And I just spent a 45-minute conversation talking about what we know about Germans and people in the UK and people in various countries and what they're looking for online when it comes to travel to New York City and how they maybe can, you know, build this content into what they're saying. You have to think the same way. You have to think in terms of search. If you come in number 1 instead of number 20 in Google for some keyword related to your business, it's going to make a huge difference. I think you all know that. Just got to be thinking about how to do that. And it's about content, making sure content is focused on those keywords. So keep focused on search, and here's just a couple of things that you want to do. Make sure that you create fun and helpful information online using real words that your customers would use, not necessarily, you know, in company terms. Make sure you write posts for a blog. Get out there. Blogs are free. You can start a blog. Get out. You can write articles. You can say. You can put out messages. You can talk about, again, back to the, you know, staffing or hiring. You know, how to prepare for an interview. Whatever it might be, things that your potential customers may be looking for. Also, get more links to your site. Search optimization is largely about getting people to link to your website. The more they link, more websites that link to you, then the higher you will be in search. And you use organizations like this, just like you network here. You can have a page on your website and say, here are my friends in SMEI, and hopefully you would link back, and you can all help your businesses in that way. And do not buy links. If you get these emails that say, hey, you can get 100 links to your website, they don't help, they just cost money. Just a quick thing that I think you need to know about. And we watch Google, and we watch all of these companies and what changes they're making, and they're changing their algorithms. And this slide's a couple of months old, so this isn't brand new. But basically, the last major change that Google made definitely gave a couple of things really high prominence in terms of search engine performance. And one of them was Google Places. Another one of them is Wikipedia. So if your company or, you know, your founder or something is in Wikipedia, it's definitely worth looking at. But this is especially important for all of you. If you do not have a Google Places page, you need to go get one. It is free, and what you do is you go in and I'll show you the form in just a minute, but I'll show you mainly why. Okay, so if you're on Google, and I type in Little Rock Hotels, because I want to come to your hotel, I'm sure, but I don't know it yet, then you will see these advertisements. This is pay-per-click marketing here with a slightly yellow background, and then you'll see this one, and then you'll see these others. And notice that this has a little button, a little map, and it says A. Well, that's very important because one of the reasons this is ranking high in what we call natural search engine performance is because this company, the Peabody in Little Rock, has actually entered in a Google Places page. And that gave them more prominence in search over some of their competitors. So you need to be in there for whatever your business is. So we've set these up for our clients who have law firms or any other kind of business. And one of our clients is Graceland. So this is the Graceland page. So to give you an example, I'm going to move this so that you guys can see better. You know, we enter in the address and all of this information, a description. We get people to go out and review it. You know, we send out an email, hey, we need some reviews in here. We get to upload photographs. You can also link video. The more multimedia you have in there, the better it'll do. We make sure that the address is correct and then it maps it correctly. And you have to actually have a physical address. It's just so you know. And by the way, I could go in and enter yours today and you wouldn't even know it. There has been some problem because they can't authorize every single one of you. You know, so basically you have to go in and say, this is my business, and claim it. So this is definitely something you want to do. Because the other day, when I was coming back from out of town, it was 9 o'clock, it was a Monday night, my whole carload of people, we hadn't had dinner, we were looking for a place to eat. And I said, you know, I think Copper Grill is open. And I went to the Copper Grill, I searched for Copper Grill, and I pulled up their Google Places listing, and it said that they closed at 7. And they did not close at 7, okay? If they closed at 7, they would not have a very good dinner business, okay? So I have no idea who put that in there. It could have been a typo. It also, there have been instances of competitors doing that. So hopefully that's not a tip to you. And also integrating social. Let's talk about what social is and what it means to integrate it. So these social media networks are still growing. I know that you probably had people up here talk about this before, right? But look at this. I mean, up 42% in 2011, and that's Twitter. With Facebook, we have over 800 million active users. That's ridiculously huge. And if you want to reach an international market, you can. 70% of those Facebook users are not in the United States. This is what we mean by social integration. Allowing more, if you can, get into your website, more opportunities for people to write reviews, to rank things, to tweet about it. There's this very inexpensive social share toolbar that you can put into your website. You need that so that people, if they like what they see on your website, they can share it with others. So it's no longer about getting your name out there. It is about writing stories, creating stories that people can visualize, having that multimedia too to tell that story, and having it so great, fun, interesting, or helpful that it's worth sharing. So it really is a new day for marketing, and the people who get that are really winning online. So tell your stories so that they're easy to get, remember, and share. Certainly technology has not removed the importance of being able to write and communicate and tell your story. But it has actually upped the ante because it is a free-for-all. It's so inexpensive to do, everybody's out there. Now that brings me back to blogs, which I mentioned just a minute ago. You're probably thinking, she's crazy. She's putting up a slide that says there's 181 million blogs and telling me I should have a blog? It's like, does the world really need a blog? That's what by the way, that's what my brother said when I told him I wanted to be an attorney. But here's a blog entry, and I know several of you are kind of in related businesses here, but unique Halloween party ideas. Interesting. I was actually looking for a unique, I don't think I typed in unique, but a Halloween party idea, because I was looking for, I've been to a party where there was one of those crazy jello molds, I don't know, it looked like a brain or something, and I thought that'd be fun for this party, and came up, and #1 link, this blog, with fun party ideas, and notice this over here, it's a tweet stream. This is the kind of thing with a simple API, with a simple plugin on your website, you can pull this kind of thing into your site, including your blog, or you can if you don't have a website or you want to start a new one, you can start it on WordPress, which incorporates the blog into it. Now, one of the really important things right now is video. And we even have people here videotaping me. Why? Because we have to generate more video. That's important content that we have to get out there online. And we shoot a lot of video, and this is one of our restaurants here in Little Rock, and we do this series of, by the way, they're awesome. So go to YouTube, look up Arkansas.com dining, or go to Arkansas.com dining. This just won a national award. Great videos with the chefs. They're sharing their recipes. They have some really good recipes, and they're also talking about their restaurants. So why are we doing that? It's because YouTube, do you know more people search YouTube for information than they do now Google? I mean, YouTube is driving huge amounts of traffic. And one of the reasons is, if you need to learn how to, if you want to do embroidery, do you want to go read an article about it, or do you want to see a video where somebody shows you how to do it? Because that's what YouTube's all about. I mean, people get it faster, easier by showing you. And so video really cuts through a lot of that clutter and tells people what it is, how it works. And think about how that might work for your business. What video do you need out there? You can even take PowerPoint slides, do slideshows, do a voiceover to it, record that on the microphone and talk about whatever it is that you know, whatever your expertise is. YouTube, 3 billion global views a day. Yes, that's with a B. And and again, the viewing sessions are huge. It's big. And there's this dining site again, and this is not just, this is one of the websites that we do for Arkansas Parks and Tourism, so this is on arkansas.com. And guess what? As soon as people see that video up there, they're on it. And I've done focus groups, you heard I do a lot of research, and it's true that people love video. And by the way, the number one thing people will do in email also is click on a video. So, you know, in the Arkansas business email, you know, if there could be video in there, that would be a good thing. So all you guys in TV land, you know, you got video, you get it. All right. Yes. So mobilize. I talked a little bit about mobile. Now today, and all these slides, you know, my business is hard. 3 months is really old. Yes. I hope that this is still accurate. This is just from a few months ago. A few months ago, 1 out of every 3 phones was a smartphone. Okay, that's really good. Now, what that means is we also have a mobile audience in these tablets. How many of you have an iPad or Zoom? Or, yeah, a lot of people. And there's Nicole. You're on yours right now, typing notes. So anyways, you know, we are a mobile world. And I'm going to show you a slide that's probably going to blow your mind a little bit because you're going to see your business on this slide. So now nearly 7% of all online traffic is going to mobile. This is old. I actually think this is probably too low. I've seen some studies that show it much higher. So think about that. I mean, I know on some of our other client sites it's 17% or 20%. And this is a slide that probably has your business in here. So think about this. These are the #1 things that consumers are doing on their phones. They're searching for businesses. They're finding friends nearby. They're calling a business. He's watching you too. Very good job. Now I want you to tweet about it. You can locate a business map, find things to do, get driving directions, find local store hours. Okay, think about your business and think about if somebody comes to your main page of your website, this is what they're probably looking for. Do you have that in a mobile-friendly way that I can get to from your main page? Because if you don't have your phone number on your little mobile landing page, and I'll show you an example here, then I can't click and just call you. And if I can't click on your address and just get the directions on my phone, then I may not make it to your place. This is just one example of the Atlantic City mobile phone page that we do. So they have this giant, gorgeous, beautiful website, you know, giant images. But what we have is very streamlined, quick to download with all of their main stuff. And this, by the way, is a little promotion that we have dynamically go up there in case they want to promote a specific event. Now, people ask me all the time, do I need an app or do I need a mobile landing page or a mobile page for your website? I will tell you that right now, by far, the majority of the traffic is going to the mobile web pages. That needs to be your #1 priority. If you do not have you need to all get on your phone right now and go to your website and look at what it looks like on your phone. And if it's too hard to use, I'm having to stretch it out and I can't read it and I'm messing around, then you need to get that fixed. You need to call your web development company. You need to say, I really want to know what it takes to make sure that my main page of my website is mobile friendly, and I want to make sure that I have the address and my phone number and some basic stuff on there so that people can come to my business. And then go create a great app. And if you need an app, call me. We develop a lot of great apps. So I'm nothing against an app, but the truth is that your mobile web page will come up in search. It'll come up in search on mobile, which is actually the #1 thing. I mean, that chart with things people are looking for, but the #1 activity on your phone is search. So people are searching for information, they're going to their phone, and you need to be there, and if you're not there, then you're definitely missing out on a market. So the other thing that I think you need to know for 2012 is about managing your reputation. You've heard a lot about the security issues that we're dealing with, but the truth is that now more than ever, there are people talking about you. There's people talking about your business. There are people saying things about your competitors. There are people talking about whatever is something that you care about. And this is getting to be a real issue. So there are a couple of sites out there, and for this audience, I picked Yelp, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. I think that you need to look at Yelp. But to give you an idea, again, about the power of Wikipedia, Wikipedia now is feeding many other applications and many other search components. So I don't know if you type, I mean, you guys probably see this if you search for anything online, the number one thing that comes up usually is Wikipedia. Very search friendly. So I hate the photographs, by the way, for Little Rock on Wikipedia. It's like, wow, we could do better, you know. So I'm trying to get, you know, the city to our client of ours, trying to get them to, you know, officially upload some new photos. But I want to talk a little bit about Yelp and also Urban Spoon and some of these. Some of you have restaurants or know people in the restaurant business. I mean, a lot of what we're doing on our apps is looking for food. We like food. I do. So here's an example of a Yelp site, and this is in Hot Springs. Maybe you guys know it. It's a great place, Savory Pantry. So this looks a lot like that Google Places listing, doesn't it? In fact, there was a lawsuit about that, but I won't get into it. So you have your map, you have your reviews, you're pulling in all this information. It's a one-stop shop, and this is a very popular app for finding out what restaurants are near me. 25% of the searches in Yelp are done for restaurants, the other 24% for shopping. I don't know if any of you have shops or retail. And then look at all those other areas. You know, beauty and health, fitness, travel, hotel, auto. So really important places. And people always ask, well, somebody said something in Yelp and it's not true, so now I'm going to disregard it. You know, somebody said something bad. They made a bad review about my business in Yelp, and so now I'm banning it. Bad idea. Best advice I can give you today is look at reviews, and if you see something bad, do not freak out. So what you need to do is treat bad reviews as if somebody walked up to you about a complaint for your company. Would you scream at them and say, you're a liar? People, by the way, unfortunately, some business people are doing that online, and it is really hurting them. Instead, what you want to do is you want to get in there and you want to say, I'm really sorry you had a bad experience. That's not typically the experience. And by the way, Yelp and a lot of these other review sites offer a place for you as the business owner to come in and say, I'm the official business owner. I want to, you know, and I would like to be able to address my concerns, and then they will actually remove things if you think that there is a problem. By the way, businesses would not be in business if they did not respond to business owners who had serious concerns. So look at Yelp. I think Yelp, you know, has some opportunity for a lot of you. Buy smart ads. Okay. I know a lot of you are in the advertising business. So I'll have to be very careful about this part. Because I'm obviously a huge fan of the online ad. But, you know, there's a lot of advertising out there. I know I often feel like this. You know, there's just advertising coming at us all the time. And you can see it. I mean, I know KATV and others. You guys really work hard to build it into your editorial, build it into your content, because we're looking for relevance. People don't like to be interrupted by ads when they're trying to do something. But if I'm looking for a hotel and there's an ad there for a hotel, then now that's an irrelevant ad. So there are lots of ways to spend too much money, no matter what kind of advertising, right? Or to throw your money away. And again, one of the cool things about the internet is that there are just some really great opportunities for some really targeted ads to people who are actually looking for something related to you. That's the beauty of it. I mean, when you can target people who are searching for some term related to your business in Little Rock or North Little Rock or wherever your business may be, then that's a very qualified lead. So I put in banks in the Little Rock area. I think we have some banks here, Centennial and others. So again, here are the people who are doing pay-per-click marketing advertising. By the way, pay-per-click marketing can also elevate your natural search performance. So Bank of America, there's a couple of others there. This is a great advertising venue, and a lot of our banks are already on this. And then also, you add in some Google Places there. All of your bank locations need to be in Google Places. So, and then the Facebook sponsored stories. This is a new offering by Facebook, fairly new module. And what it does is it pulls in people's faces who say something about you. Now this is pretty freaky a little bit. But you know what you're doing is I'm on Facebook and I see the face of somebody I know and it says they really like the Komen Run. And then I go, oh, look at that. And then I'm into the Komen's Facebook page. And then I'm
maybe liking Komen and becoming a part of that community. And that's how Facebook Stories works. So it takes things that people are saying about your business or your organization, and it puts it in an ad that people click in. It doesn't look like an ad. It looks like you're just seeing information that your friends are talking about. The other thing is mobile advertising. We manage lots of pay-per-click marketing campaigns for many, many clients. So one of the things that we've seen, this is just one example. For one client, we get an average of we spend an average of 50 cents per click to their website. So we did the same pay-per-click marketing advertising instead of on desktop. We did it just on mobile, and we spent for the same marketing campaign 7 cents per click. Okay, why is that? 7 cents per click. That's huge savings. It's because right now it's not a particularly cluttered market. And whenever you can be first to the market, you know, for something that's not too busy, you're going to get a good deal. It is an auction-based system, so we're able to get some really good deals. And that includes your tablets. And by the way, we have more men on tablets than women, and the people on tablets click even more than on mobile or any other device. So my last tip for you today, and then I'll take some questions, is going to be evaluate yourself. I mean, I already saw a lot of you get out your phones or your tablets and go to your websites and pull them up and see how you look. I think that's great, and that's just the start. I would really like for you to look at your online presence from a couple of points of view. You know, is it accurate? Is it up to date? You know, are you doing a good job of telling your story? Sometimes does it feel accurate? Does it feel professional and like I'm not, you know, does it not have explosions saying we're the best and everybody else is crummy or something? Yeah, I know you do. But, yeah. Also, do you show that there's real value? People almost immediately within seconds want to know that they're making a judgment based on your website as to whether or not you're too expensive or you're not good enough for what they're looking for. So they're making those judgments, you know, this is luxury or this is discount, you know. So you need to make sure that your presence looks like where you want to be in terms of your deal value or your value. Customer service. Everybody needs great customer service, right? So if people are emailing on your page or you're responding, you know, do you have a phone number? Do you have an email address? You know, are you, you know, you need to basically make a commitment to customer service on your site. And then also make it easy, fun, and simple. Simple is the key word. A lot of our work is a lot less complicated than it used to be in some ways because a website has to look great on the Droid phone, on the iPhone. It has to look good on a giant desktop, on a little desktop, you know, on slow modems. You know, we still have people out there on dial-up. I know it because we have a lot of those customers still from coast to coast on our dial-up internet access for 50 cents an hour. You know, and then there's other people on high-speed internet. So it's just a lot of different variation. It's very unlike, I guess now in television we're dealing a little bit more with that kind of thing, with the HD and, you know, different versions. But, you know, online, I mean, we've been dealing with this for a long time, and it changes all the time. So sometimes we have to simplify so that we can make sure it looks great in all of those environments. But also, your message has to be quick. Again, people just have to get it. That's back to that bowling pin example of just kind of simple, clear, direct. And then I do a thing called Task and Ask. Now, you could hire me if you wanted to do a usability study or a focus group on your website. But I'm just going to basically tell you how you can do that yourself. Come up with a couple of things that you want people to be able to do when they come to your website. You know, I want people to be able to find us. I want people to know immediately that we sell copy machines. I want people to know that we sell more than copy machines. You know, I want people to know that we serve more than Central Arkansas. You know, whatever. Think about, you know, and then ask somebody to go to your website and say, hey, find out where our locations are. Hey, go to our website and find out how to advertise with us. You're going to go, oh, it's Barry. You know, so anyway, just get some, you know, but think about what the main thing, again, back to that bowling pin. Think about, you know, your main audience, your main message. Make sure that's really easy and clear and that it really can't be missed. And then walk a mile in their shoes. I mean, really, just try if you can. I know it's hard because you love your businesses, you're all about your businesses, and you know it backwards and forwards, because you guys are the sales and the marketing people. So, but the question is how, you know, come to your site and say, okay, I'm just gonna imagine that this is my situation, that I'm Sally, remember Sally? From the earlier slide, or Susan, whatever name we gave her. Imagine you're her and you want a divorce, you know, or whatever it might be, or you want to throw a party, or I just opened a new business in North Little Rock. So anyway, and then say, okay, now what would I be looking for? Just try to get in people's shoes a little bit. And then think about the future. Again, this medium changes all the time. I am so sorry. You cannot not pay attention to it. You're gonna have to get in there. Don't be afraid. You can't really blow it up. So, but what's happening now, and I look at international stuff a lot, and one of the reasons is because we lag behind in the United States in a few things. For example, on this is a Korean website, and I can go into Seoul, Korea. I can see all of the shows, plays, movies. I can then purchase on my phone tickets to any of those events, and it really is simple. And that's where we're going. So just be aware that, you know, what you're doing now is not going to be the end. You know, it's not like, oh, I got to get in there and do a couple things and then walk away. You know, that things are moving very quickly, and the competitors who are really succeeding are really seeing that. And if you want to get some great ideas or tips or information about, you know, to think about that and to look at the future, we do articles all the time. We send them out an email. And we call it DigiTips, but you can go to AristotleDesign.com and you can sign up for this little deal. It's free. We don't send them out, we send them out like every 2 months or something. We need to do better, but we will. But yeah, but you know, whenever there's something brand new, like Facebook changes the rules, or when Google Places, you know, changed their algorithm for how much influence they had on search. We did an article on that, and then we went in and we showed you how to do it yourself. So anyway, it definitely might be worth subscribing from any of you, and I hope you do. And now I can take any questions. We have about 5 minutes, is that right? Okay, great. I know you guys got burning questions.
Sometimes on that dial-up deal, we always feel weird about when someone says, do you have like a certain percentage of that target that's on dial where you're willing to bring the quality of the site to allow them to be on it before you do that, or do you have a way where you can keep the quality great and they're good and the high-speed guys are good? How do you deal with that?
That's a really good question. Did everybody hear that question? How do you deal with the fact that there are some people out there in dial-up? And of course, back to the bowling pins, you really don't want to lose any customer. This is a big problem because the digital divide is for real. And what's happened is that so many people, and so many people with resources, you know, the financial resources to do so, are on high-speed internet. But people of all income groups are really getting on smartphones. So that's one of the things we're seeing, is that we're getting a much broader demographic on our mobile views. But what most people do who are on dial-up is there is a way to turn off your graphics. Because other than that, really, it just doesn't work. You cannot design, in my opinion, for the lowest common denominator. So there are, now one thing that you can do also, by the way, we see the same thing with disability, because the American Disabilities Act, you know, makes it where your website has to also be searchable by people who are on these electronic readers. And similarly, you know, if you have a sitemap and you can turn off your images or whatever, and you can get to your text of your website, that's basically what people who are on dial-up are learning to do. So bearing that in mind, you just want to make sure that you don't have too much information, that people aren't dependent on images, you know, in order to navigate or to do some things. A sitemap with all your text links will get you there pretty quick. Anybody else? You want to know how to set up a Pinterest account?
Eventually, yes.
Okay.
Twitter first, so.
Yes.
Marla, although we in the marketing world agree and understand with everything you say, but I have sometimes difficulty with my CEOs who may not be as familiar with Twitter, understanding the value of that and why we need to have a specific individual paying to do that. What would you suggest?
Well, I think that's really fun that you brought that up, because I actually made a presentation to a banking group. You know, they were on their retreat, it was their managers meeting, you know, from all around the state. And they had a rule from their IT department that no one could have an iPhone, or, you know, all these rules, you know, coming from IT. And that changed after that presentation, because they realized, especially because they knew their market and they know that they're there, and it was just that little push that they needed in order to see that. But what I would say specifically about Twitter, and this is often a lead for me, and those of you who are in the media know this, is that the media are all over Twitter. So it should at least be a functionality of someone in your PR department or your communications team who are going to make sure that when there's information or news, that it can get out there to people who are in media, because you can get earned media as a result of what you tweet. New bank openings or changes, you know, in locations or something. And hopefully those of you trying to sell advertisements to them are checking that out as well, so that you can go, hey, look, Centennial Bank is now opening in this new area. I'm going to see if they're interested in advertising. But that's one thing. But I think mainly show them those numbers. I mean, you know, the numbers are there. And Twitter, again, a little bit different demographic, slightly different than Facebook. Facebook is more females, more female time. And I mean, it's not that there aren't a lot of men on there. So men, stay on there. I'm not trying to say that it's a chick thing. But Twitter is a little more male dominated, and it's a little more higher income dominated. So, you know, there's just a lot of people out there who don't have a lot of time, and you know, those are probably some people that, you know, some ears should perk and say, we want to make sure that we get that higher income, you know, person to be getting some messages about us. And you know, the other thing you can do, go do a couple of do a couple searches on Twitter. I accidentally did this. Well, not really, but it's kind of an accident. But yeah, I had to block it out. But I made a presentation to one banking group, and I showed them the Twitter page of their bank name sucks. Time's up. So anyway, you know, once they saw that other people were out there tweeting about their bank, bad customer service, I can't believe I went by at 4:59 and they were already closed, or all that kind of thing, then they'll see, you know, we have to have somebody out there saying good things about us or addressing these concerns. That usually works. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for your